A very good evening to everyone. We welcome you all to this Olympics Patient Awareness Initiative on the topic of women's health issue during COVID times. This is a topic which is, I must say, must be close to everybody's heart because, as everybody will agree with me, that women's health has always been of prime importance during the current age and the era bygone, as it has been also highlighted by our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who had very aptly said, and I quote, that you can tell the condition of a nation by looking at the status of its women. So, looking at the current scenario where the female is playing multiple roles, and I won't even say for a lifetime, if we look at the current day scenario, we look at each and every day, she is playing the role of a mother, of a homemaker, of a professional, the different hats she dons, and yet she has to take care of the health as well. So, to highlight this further, to enlighten us further on this topic, today we have with us the leading obstetrician, gynecologist, and infertility specialist, Dr. Roja Olai. So, though Roja Olai is a well known name across India and needs absolutely no introduction, yet I would take this opportunity to share few of the many accomplishments of Dr. Roja. If I have your permission, Doctor.
Yeah, please. Okay.
So, as I said, she's a well known name across India and across multiple countries. So, just to name a few of her accomplishments, Dr. Roja Olai is an MS, FICOG, FICMCH. She's a leading obstetrician, gynecologist, and infertility specialist, a gold medalist, national award winner with both national and international publications in various journals. She is the National Vice President of the Family Planning Association of India for the year 2018 and 20. She is also the member of South Asian Regional Governing Council International Planned Parenthood for the year 2017 to 2020. She is also the fellow and member board of Governing Council College of OBGYN for the year 2018 and 20. A WHO consultant, an expert panel meet on ARSH global guidelines on WHO Geneva Summit in the year 2010. Dr. Roja was also the national vice president for FOXI in the year 2014 and was also the chairperson for the Adolescent Health Committee FOXI from the year 2019 to 2012. Dr. Roja is the director at Ulai Hospital at Kolia. If I go on, the list will be endless, but I am sure you guys will be waiting for me to hand over the session to Dr. Roja so that she can highlight further on the importance of the topic that we are going to discuss today. And as you must have seen through the thing that I've described about Dr. Roja, you can see how extensively she has worked in improving the women healthcare across all ages, boundaries, as well as society. So, Doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Shefali, for the very nice introduction. Well, at the outset, I want to thank Alembic Pharmaceuticals for the wonderful kind of a social activity that they are doing. And it's, I think, one of the first kind in India right now that, during the pandemic, you all are doing such great work and trying to educate the women to the best mode, which is now through Zoom and these kind of, gadgets that we have. Well, I know that friends who are listening, a lot of ladies online. You can put your questions as we go on. Well, I try to brief all of you through the scenario that we all are in. Corona pandemic, it's affecting everyone. It's all over the world. So you are not the only one. We are not the only one in India. So it's affecting everybody. So we need to take certain precautions in order to go through this phase in a very smooth way without getting, panicky all about it. The most essential thing is for all those who are pregnant, good news for you. And the good news is that till now there are no studies to show that the baby gets infected through the mother. So there is no vertical transmission. Other thing is the good news that the vaccine should be ready maybe by the beginning of next year. However, during now and next year, what are the things you should do? Kuch cheezein, I'll try to put in a little Hindi as well for our audience, those who can understand a little in Hindi. कुछ चीजें हैं जो हमको मदद देता है कि उसके अंदर हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या खा सकते हैं, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए. तो in short, if I say that you will have to take this just like any other infection, a viral infection, like a cold. However, there are certain things which you need to do. Keep a little distance, maybe about 1.5 meters from your other friend. Do not go out until and unless it's really necessary. Even going to the hospital, I'll try to tell you as we have your questions answered that is really, if it's essential, go to the hospital. Otherwise, we have a lot of telephonic conversations. You can do a telemedicine with your doctor to avoid going. The reason being, crowded places is going to be a place where you get the infection, and virus, will just come to you like that. Drink a lot of water. Hydrate yourself. That goes on whether you are pregnant, non-pregnant. Hydration is very important. Always try to wear your mask. What you have to do is you just have to cover your nose, your mouth in a good way, and also your eyes. So preferably you can wear a shield. For us, when doctors, we wear shield and our mask. However, you can also wear your specs wherein your eyes could be covered. When you go home, try to make sure that you wash your hands, take out your clothes, have bath, so that you don't give the infection to others who are there, especially you elderly, especially, people are with comorbidities, like for example, those who are diabetic, hypertensive, any kind of diseases that they have, obesity, or elderly people, they are a little at a higher risk, and even pregnant patients. You have to try. See, during the pandemic, I receive a lot of my patients who come who put on weight. What you should do is try to reduce your calorie intake, try to decrease sweets, try to work it out, try to do yoga in the mornings, a little skipping, little walk, even in the room. When you stand and don't sit all the time, you lose calories. So try to do a little exercise, because putting on weight is very easy. Removing it later on is going to be very tough. Exercise, as I said, is going to give you a lot of kind of positive vibes. Try to meditate a lot. Meditation helps, and yoga is one good way. Say prayers. Prayers is also very important. Read from the holy books. This is the best time that you can be to yourself. Sometimes I feel God has made this natural happening to happen for us, so that we try to introspect, we try to understand ourselves from inside. We need to have some time for ourselves. We don't have to run about, work from morning till night. You need to pay attention to more things, more spiritual aspect of life. Health is a combination of not only physical well-being, where you don't have any issues, health issues, but it's related to your mental, to your social interactions, and to your spiritual health. There is a rise recently of non-communicable diseases. What I mean to say non-communicable is as in mental health, diabetes, hypertension. It is on the rise, and obesity in India, it is always on the rise. However, right now, because of the viral infection, we are having this infection, but definitely depression is something we are worried about. And this is on the rise, especially during the pandemic, because everybody is in the house. Everybody is apprehensive. What will happen tomorrow? What will happen to my job? I've lost my job. Money is not there. A lot of things are going on in our minds. And this is something that you have to really balance yourself and think more positive. Here is what meditation and prayers will help us out. Try to think about the present. Try to know what is happening right now. After all, end of the tunnel, there is always light. We have to be hopeful. We have to have a lot of trust and faith to God at the same time. A lot of cases are coming up with unwanted pregnancies and abortions. During our question and answers, I hope we come across certain questions that I can help you out with. There are medications available. Your doctors can help you out. Do not delay going for certain emergencies to your doctors. For example, you missed a date, you don't want to have the pregnancy. There are very good medicines available that can help you in order to do the medical termination with medicines. There are certain ladies who are bleeding during this pandemic and they cannot go to the doctor. Well, there are certain investigations and certain ultrasound procedures that could be done. And we have got contraceptives which are really very nice and could be used during this period. Maybe when we talk later on, even on my private conversations with you, we can come to that closer. So I think the best thing I would like to say is to cut short, because I would like to have your questions answered, would be that try to find a hobby, try to utilize this time. This is something which is affecting everyone. So we are all in the same boat. So Shefali, let's go ahead. If there are some questions which have come, we can gradually answer them. And I think a lot of things will be, solved during this.
Yes, ma'am, we have started receiving the questions from everyone, and I would like all the viewers who are out there to put in the question, whatever questions that you have, even if you are watching it on the behalf of your wife, your sister, your mother, any question that you have, please put it on, and I am sure Dr. Roja will be able to help you with this. I will start with the first question that I've received. So the first question is by Aarti. She's 24. She's very descriptive. This is very good. She's told her age. She's 24 years old and she's planning to get married. I must say a very good decision. And she wants to know about the test and investigation that she needs to do before she takes the final plunge.
Wow, that's nice. Aarti, congratulations for being so careful and intelligent. We are very few couples who like to come for a premarital counseling, and I think it's a very good question to begin today's topic. And I would say that it's important to know your blood group. It's important to know your blood, whatever is your situation of your health, before you go and marry. It is important for the girls and for boys as well. Blood grouping and RH is something that you should know. However, for the girls, there are certain vaccinations which are important. So one that I would be recommending for you would be, for all the girls who are going to be married, would be a rubella vaccination. This vaccination is very important. A booster dose had to be given at the age of 15. Now, I don't know whether you've got that dose or not. However, check it out and get that done. Certain blood hemoglobinopathies are there, certain kind of things related, problems, issues related with anemias related. So you can go to your physician, get these blood tests done for yourself. Sugar is something that you have to be controlling, whether you're diabetic or not. And of course, same applies with your husband. There are certain kind of thalassemias which are common, minor, major. We need to do all that. So please make sure that if you have any medical issues, get it corrected, get yourself examined. You have to go to your gynecologist. The person who will help you out will be a gynecologist. And if your marriage is, let's say about 3 months from now, I think this is the time you should go to your gynecologist and get yourself counseled well. All the very best to you.
So I hope, Aarti, you must have been satisfied. You must be satisfied by all the tests that ma'am has told you, and all the best for your marriage. The second question that we have is from Deepthi. She's from Gwalior itself. She's saying that she's actually been she's put it very nicely, and she's saying that her height she's 5 feet 2 inches and is 68 kg. She has excessive hair on her face and her periods are not normal. So she's like, is it a serious disease? Should she consult, or is it something very normal for this particular weight and this height?
Yeah. So, well, you've described yourself well. You're 68, 5'2". I think you are a little on the heavier side from what your description. I don't know what your age is. However, what I would like to request you is try to have a lifestyle change for yourself. You see, there is a disease or a syndrome which is called polycystic ovarian syndrome or disease, PCOD, which is very common and it's on the rise, especially all over India, all over the world. 26% of adolescents are, with PCOD. This is a genetic disease. There are certain, environmental factors which are associated with it. However, nothing to make you scared of. Don't be worried. This is nothing that you will panic about. With this disease, certain hormones are more than the other ones. So you get a little male hormone a little on the rise instead of the female hormone. However, there is one thing you should do, which is very simple, is decrease your weight to 5%. And that also should not be immediate within 1 month. No. So we will give you around 3 months to decrease your weight, maybe 4 months, and that should be a gradual decrease in your weight. So no crash dieting. You have to have your breakfast on time, you have to have your lunch. Dinner can be a little light, but try to avoid oily stuff, sweets, and do a lot of exercise. Exercise for you, I don't know what your age is, but I'm sure you're young. So that exercise will try to burn away the fat is a crux of the whole thing. Is it tries to convert the normal estrogen into more of male hormones. So gradually all your hair, if you have on your face, above your chin, these are the areas that the hair grows. Or even if you have boils on your face, as a matter of fact, because increase oiliness, increase of androgen hormones. So gradually all this will decrease and you should be all right. However, if your menses is not regular, you haven't mentioned much about your menses. I think it's abnormal. I heard you say.
Yes, ma'am. It's
No,
irregular.
so we will give you time for 3 months with decrease of weight, with control on your diet, with a lifestyle modification. Your menses will become regular. There's nothing to panic. In case after 3 months you're not all right, still you have periods of amenorrhea, not getting your menses, there are certain hormones, certain medications which is very very nice, very good for you, nothing to panic. We can start that for you, but my advice to you would be just listen and do what I've told you. That should help you out.
So I hope deeply you're gonna follow everything which ma'am has told you. I think you should start exercising from tomorrow itself. And if you can just go for a walk with your mask on, definitely now itself, after the session, but you have to attend the entire session. So, ma'am, there are a lot of questions coming in, so I'll just have to filter out and see which ones are different from the others.
Yeah, sure.
So, the next question is from Karuna. She's 45 years old. She's saying she's having irregular period and she assumes and she's worried that she might be approaching menopause. And what are the precautions that she can take for the current menopausal situation she's in?
Right. So, 45 years, I don't know what your details or weight is and how many children you have had. But however, when we talk about menopause, it's something like a myth in the Indian, mentality. The moment their menses become irregular, dating, they're born into menopause. No. In India, there is a phase of premenopause. So, for example, from the age of 45 till 52, this period is in the lifespan of a woman. There are certain changes, bodily changes. There will be a less of estrogen hormone, gradually it'll come down, and the lady will experience gradually irregular periods. Sometimes mood changes with it, sometimes feeling irritable. A lot of things happen. This will be gradual in certain people. In fact, in the lady who I've just mentioned, 45 years, it appears to be very gradual. She's not having many. No, you're not into menopause. You're going into premenopause. Yes, this is a very good time that you should get your examinations once done. However, not during this corona pandemic right now. Maybe you could wait a little longer, maybe about a month or two. It's nothing very urgent. However, I would advise you to go to your gynecologist, get a routine checkup done. A routine checkup would mean your breast examination, your pelvic examination, a pap smear, your blood pressure, a little bit of blood test to show whether your thyroid is normal or sugar, because this is an age that there's a little bit of up and down of thyroid hormone and sugar. So there's nothing to worry as such for you. Only thing my advice would be, I don't know what your weight is, your BMI is, please make sure you control your weight, because after the age of 45 automatically women put on weight. वो अपना आप ही वजन ज्यादा हो जाता है, पता भी नहीं लगता है, तो आपको उस तरीके से ध्यान देना चाहिए डाइट के ऊपर. हाइड्रेशन करो आप, थोड़ा सा वेट को थोड़ा सा कंट्रोल पे रखो. इफ यू आर ऑन द ओबीस साइड, आई हैव नो आइडिया व्हाट योर वेट इज, but I wish you all the best. Don't panic. You don't have to run to your doctor right now. The moment you feel things are a little better, whichever city you are in, corona is a little less, outside you can go, to your visit your doctor. It is nothing urgent, however, right now, until and unless you have too much of bleeding, until and unless you have too much of pain, clots passing during menses, then you should go to your doctor. Right now, you can just drink a lot of water, relax, do a little yoga.
Thank you, ma'am. I also swear by yoga, people.
Okay, good.
So, ma'am, the next question that I have, and there are two questions which are of almost similar nature. There is this lady with her name is Sheetal. She's saying she's newly married and is suffering from burning in the urine. What she should do? And there's another question from from Miss Urvi. She has mentioned her age as well. She's 31 and has a reoccurrence of UTI. Is it suggested to go for a pap test? So I think these two questions are like almost
The one who's newly married would have a little bit of a different counseling. I'll divide this question. There are two different aspects. So the one who's newly married, this is called the honeymoon UTI. So usually people who are newly married get a little infection and get a little burning in the urine. So I would advise you drink a lot of water, keep your area, genital area clean, dry yourself. And in case with this, you still feel a little more burning, then you need to get your urine examined and maybe you will be given a little bit of antibiotic so that you take care of UTI. There's nothing to panic, nothing to worry. It is called the honeymoon UTI, which is very common. Your male partner should also be asked whether he is also suffering from burning, and he can also be then, taking care of the genitalia, keeping yourselves clean, and then should be all right. So there's nothing to panic about this. Regarding your other question about a lady who's 31 years old, I don't know whether she's got children, she's married, what the situation is. However, in general, women are more prone to urinary tract infection. So these questions are very common in any forum. So the reason being because the area is very delicate and everything is very close to each other, irrespective, as comparison to the male. So the women have to be very careful. You have to see that you're not constipated. You see, a myth is that constipation se kuch nahi hota hai, but because you're constipated, you have germs and they travel, the E. coli travels and it goes into your urinary area. And that's the reason why you get. So if you're constipated, make sure that your motion is clear, drink a lot of water. Yes, there are certain alkalizers which can be given along with water and you can drink, and that should be all right. So again, in general, take care of yourself, hydrate yourself, get a urine examination done, a routine microscopic and a culture sensitivity if you can. And by the time the report comes, you can go to your doctor and see what antibiotics are necessary to be given. Do not pop in just any kind of antibiotic. You need to know what it is, and gradually then you can take care. But I think the simple thing would be there should not be any discharge, there should not be any burning, and you have to keep yourself dry, as in general rule for all the women, for all the girls.
I think Urvi, I hope you're satisfied with the answer. And I would request all the people who are raising their hands in the chat section. You can always type your questions in the chat section, and I can take it up from there. And the next question that we have is okay. Karuna she's saying the answer was very well. It was very well answered, and she's appreciating you, ma'am. She's thanking you for such a descriptive answer. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It is from Preeti, who is from Indore. She's saying she's 2 months pregnant, and because of the current COVID situation, she's not shown herself to a gynec as of yet because she's very afraid to go to a hospital. So, what are the precautions that she should take, and what is that she needs to do in the current scenario?
All right, so she's pregnant 2 months. Usually we like to get a scan done and a little investigations once the patient is pregnant, more so to know where the pregnancy is, whether there is a heartbeat. So I would advise you, please go to your gynecologist. Don't be afraid. Get an appointment. Go to a slot of time where she's comparatively less crowded. You need to get your basic investigations done. You need to get a basic ultrasound done. Now, during COVID virus, yes, we are as gynecologists trying to decrease the amount of visits of the patient because yes, pregnancy is a time that your immunity is lowest and you will be prone into getting infections a little more. The basic investigations would be a CBC, your WBC count, your hemoglobin, grouping RH, sugar, and an ultrasound. This is called a dating scan when you do it around 8 weeks, that's 2 months where you are right now. So you get to know your expected date of delivery, when it will be. This is a very important scan which should not be missed. Next scan, which is really very important, your doctor will tell you, I'm sure, would be a 11 plus 6 days scan, which is called the first scan as in when you see the nasal bone of the baby, you see a nuchal translucency behind the head of the baby, and you calculate the risk factor of how this baby is going to behave, how your pregnancy is going to be by the time you're 34 weeks pregnant, because there is simultaneously a blood test, which is a double marker. I would advise you, do make sure you get these tests done. Next will depend on your this present report of level 1 scan, which is at 11 weeks, because the next scan would be also a level 2 scan, which is an anomaly scan, which is a very, very important scan for you, which your gynecologist will, I'm sure, tell you. Following that, depending on your blood pressure, on your blood test, sugar level, which I hope should be normal, your following ultrasounds and calls will be done. So I don't think it should be too many calls to the doctor gynecologist. It's good you got pregnant. Don't be afraid of your pregnancy. Nothing will happen. Corona will not come and attack you like that if you're careful. If your husband, your partner, your family members do not go too often out, you don't go out, you will have a very smooth delivery. You will sail well through pregnancy. And trust me, pregnancy is the best time in a woman's life. Don't miss this opportunity and enjoy it as much as you can. Don't be tense, have confidence, things should be all right.
So I hope, Preeti, right, Preeti, I hope you're going to follow everything which ma'am said. So, ma'am, the next question is from Sakshi Bhavani. She's saying she does not know if she has PCOD, but she's trying to work out. She has shred the excess weight. She's on regular medication of Caliquid D3, Calorel, and iron 5 gram. Is it natural to, her question primarily is it natural to have a lot of acne due to hormonal changes?
What is her age? Did she mention her age?
Ma'am, she's not mentioned her age, but I guess she has to be within
Unmarried. Yeah, she's an
unmarried.
adolescent. Yeah. So there's nothing to worry about. The medication that you're taking is absolutely good. I heard about Calorel tablet, which is a calcium with a multivitamin D3. This is a very good medicine for you. A PCOD girl. Now I don't want to tag you with a PCOD. At girls at your age with a high BMI, having pimples, having these issues, very well they'll get over it. You are on very good medications, right? So once you take these medications, these will work. 50% of your issues will be solved with this. However, the other 50% would be your lifestyle modification. Lifestyle modification, in sense, would be exercise, a lot of diet, and again, most of the issue is here in the mind. You have to be confident. You should know that yes, you'll overcome these issues and these medications are helping you. You are doing well and you're successful. Drink a lot of water. Try to do a lot of, if you're young, I'm sure you're young, do a lot of skipping, a lot of walking, do a lot of aerobics. Now, because of the pandemic, we have lots of good, TV. A lot of my patients tell me, ma'am, I'm doing a lot of aerobics. I see in the mornings, and do that. Open your YouTube, go to the TV, do all these activities and enjoy what you're doing. And I'm sure your things should be all right. However, I don't know when your next visit to the doctor would be, but make sure that you have a span of, losing your weight for certain, days. Now, there is a recent advances which lately the ESHRE group, the European groups have come up with PCOS, is that we do not like the patient to lose weight suddenly in a short span of time. We like to give time to the patient. We like her to lose weight very gradually. It should be very gradual losing weight. So because most of these patients are into, depression sometimes, they feel mentally stressed that I'm not eating anything, I'm on medication and still I'm not losing weight. So we need to do a lot of counsel. I'm so happy, Shefali, these questions are coming because these are the latest updates with PCOS. There was a time where we used to do crash dieting. Please do not go for crash dieting. Do not go for this 12 hours fasting, 12 hours, I don't know what all it's come up. No, you eat your breakfast, eat your lunch, have a light dinner, drink a lot of water, avoid sweets, like mango is in the season. Well, I'm not telling you don't eat at all, but sometimes you can cheat yourself. Have a 1 day of cheating, but don't have 2, 3 arms mangoes. Just have a little bit. However, try to be careful, try to, decrease your calorie intake, and I'm sure you should be all right. It's a very good question you asked.
साक्षी did mention her age, मैम. She's 24. तो साक्षी, आई होप आपको आपके सारे क्वेश्चंस के आंसर मिल गए. अभी आम को हफ्ते में सिर्फ एक बार ही खाना है, ऐसे देख के वापस रखना है.
She's a good girl, yeah.
So I hope, Sakshi, you're going to follow everything which ma'am said, आपको, and you will definitely get there where you want to be. Moving on to the next question that we have, it's from Renu. The questions are pouring in from all over India. We are getting a lot of questions. So I will not be biased only to a certain state. I will take it up from, this one is coming from Renu, who's from Jaipur. She's saying she is in mid 40s and having a white discharge. The white discharge is more after her periods. What medication should she be taking for this particular issue?
All right, 40 years and white discharge. Sometimes what happens that when there is during menses, we use cloth pads. Blood is a thing that attracts a lot of infection. So sometimes the pad, if it's not changed regularly on time, there comes to be a little infection which remains once the bleeding stops. So white discharge, sometimes, I don't know how often, how foul smelling it is, because if it is associated with itching or with a foul smell, especially after menses, then it is something to worry about. And then you need to go to a gynecologist so that you have an internal examination. We cannot give you just medicine just like that. However, if the white discharge is not much and you feel that it's been always there before, a little white discharge in women is normal. These are the discharge. There's a little myth with discharge and there's a little misunderstanding. A little bit of discharge is lubricating the private area. However, if it is with itching or if it is too much than normal or it's curdy discharge and there is a little light into it, that means it's infection. And that's the time you must meet your gynecologist and you must get a checkup done with your gynecologist. I would suggest age of 40 you mentioned. If it's 40 years, I don't know what your pap smear record is of the past, but the pap smear would be something that you should be doing around the age of 40. And then, depending on the result, then your doctor can give you medications. Sometimes because of the cervical, ulcers, the mouth of the uterus, there are ulcers, there are, discharge coming, which is not good. So you need to get your checkup done, and pap smear, I would say. However, you waited so long, you're not having any itching, you're not having blood stain, wait a little longer so that the corona things become a little lighter, and then you can go to your gynecologist. But don't miss out on that. You must go to your gynecologist.
Ma'am, this is a surprise for us. People from, like, it's not only females who are attending our session, they are males also attending our session. So there's this question from Ashok Masant. He's asking, I think his somebody's pregnant of 6 months, and he's asking how to probably protect oneself from an asymptomatic person of COVID.
Okay.
The question is not very clear. It just says 6 months of pregnancy and how to prevent from asymptomatic person of COVID. So I'm just trying to understand it.
So I think what he means to say, maybe he is a husband of his wife is pregnant 6 months, and he is trying to find out that how does he and his wife be protected. See, my dear, you cannot really diagnose a person who's asymptomatic COVID. I think I should not make you scared, but when you go out, you really have to consider everyone to be having the virus. I'm not going to make you panic, but you have to be careful. You have to be extremely careful. I don't know what job you're doing. If you're going out, make sure, as I told you in the beginning of my talk, try to wear specs, try to cover up nose, mouth. This is a very, very important area. Do not touch, wear gloves, to be on the safer side, because you have a pregnant woman at home. When you come home, do not do anything. Don't go inside near anybody. At the gate, put your bag down. You have to go to the bathroom closest. Take out your clothes, dump it for wash. Do not touch it. Do not let your wife go near your clothes. If you're wearing a mask, try to dispose it. I don't know what kind of preparations you're wearing. Try to, even if you're wearing, glass or anything, you need to clean the glass. You see, you should not touch everything. because then again you'll get the infection. So you yourself have to be very careful while going out, coming in, getting, buying vegetables, coming from the market. Be very careful. Now, your wife, she's pregnant 6 months. It is now into a mid pregnancy in the second trimester. You have to be extremely careful because her immunity is so low that she will be prone to get the infection, and we don't want that to happen. So, your wife should not go out of the house. She can only go whenever she goes for her checkup with a gynecologist. Now, there is a lot of telemedicine. The gynecologists are in touch on phone with the doctor, with the patients. So, if there is any issues, you can probably avoid going very often to the hospital. And wherever you go into the hospital, then even she goes for a checkup. When she comes back, she has to change her clothes. She has to really take care of herself. Washing hands is a must. I don't know how many maid servants come to your house. Who are the people coming? You should not allow many visitors to come to your house. Maid servants also, if you cannot do with them, because I know a lot of young couples, they depend on maid. Wife is pregnant, not able to cook. Somebody has to come and cook. Make sure that person is very clean. She comes or he comes home, changes his clothes, washes his hands, wears the shoes different from what he's wearing outside, home shoes. There are little things you have to think about. Things that we really don't think. You have to think about each and everything. Because 6 months, she has another 3 months to go. You have to be very careful. Make sure that your wife gets all the tetanus toxoid, all the vaccinations on time. But trust me, you cannot diagnose any person to be COVID until and unless the symptoms develop. So treat everybody to be corona asymptomatic.
Ma'am, he did ask one more thing. He is saying that the lady is taking regular iron and calcium, but she's still having a regular backache. What to do with that?
Okay, so backache, 6 months of pregnancy, it's very common. So she's not the only one. However, backache happens because of the change in posture in pregnancy. So the baby is becoming big. You see, the posture of the woman changes. Her back becomes a little tilted. Now, because of the muscle spasm, the pain comes. She should take rest. The first thing would be any pain in pregnancy means rest. I'm not saying complete bed rest, but I would say she would lie down. Then the other reason could be lack of calcium. I don't know what calcium she's taking. A little bit of vitamin D if it is added. So now these are the latest things that are coming up. A plain calcium was 20 years back. Now we have calciums which are with vitamin D3. And in pregnancy, she should be taking in a day, according to the Royal College of Guidelines, 1000 international units. So make sure whatever calcium you're giving her has got about this much of vitamin D. Otherwise, you can ask your gynecologist to prescribe for you the right calcium with a vitamin D. There are certain gels that we apply, ointments that we can apply. She can use that. Any kind of a pain reliever gel ointment can be applied with a diclofenac if she is not sensitive to this medicine. You could apply for her, and she should take rest. Rest solves a lot of issues in pregnancy. So no need of taking medications. If after resting she's still got pain, then she should take paracetamol, 1 gram. I should not be consulting online here.
Yes.
But this is something which she should do.
So I hope, Mr. Ashok, you've got all your answers. Whatever you were looking for, please take good care of your wife. Uh, so now moving on to the next question. The next question is from Miss Meena. She's saying that she is married from past 2 years and she's trying to get pregnant from past 6 months, but not able to conceive. Is there anything wrong with the uterus, and what should she do about it?
All right. So there's nothing to panic about this. Yeah, I know there is a lot of myth about, newly married and 2 years married, the in-laws, the mother-in-laws, everybody gets after you. 2 years have passed. You're trying 6 months. I think it's time that, yes, you should get pregnant. And if within 6 months' time you're not getting pregnant, don't worry. Wait another 3 months, I would say. Take a start with folic acid. I don't know what you're taking, but folic acid would be something I would like to tell you. However, It is a myth that only the woman has to be blamed. First of all, nothing is wrong with you. 6 months, you're trying, don't worry, wait on another 3 months. But if after 3 months you feel that you have not conceived, there are certain times that ovulation takes place in a woman. If you're using the right timing, I don't know whether you've had a counseling done with your gynecologist, you know what is ovulation period, how much is your cycle, is it long cycle, short cycle? You have to time yourself to get pregnant. So, first of all, the basic knowledge of when is your ovulation for your cycle. Each lady has got a different cycle to conceive. Now, issues would be related both to men and women. Certain issues are also with the men. So you're not the only one. There's nothing wrong with you. You need to visit a gynecologist. I would say start with the folic acid. Try to do your ovulation period stuff. See when is your the ovulation day. Try to conceive during that period. In case you're not able to, then you must visit the doctor. There are certain issues related with tube, hormone, certain issues with the men like semen examination. Semen level should be certain amount. I hope you're not drinking, smoking, because if you have alcohol, smoke, these will affect the ova, the egg, and the sperm. So you need to have a little bit of lifestyle modification. And I think now during lockdown, everybody's at home. We are just eating, not exercising. So try to put a little exercise. Try to change your food diet habits. And don't panic, don't worry. Give yourself another 3 months. Try to do what I just told you. And then after 3 months, make sure you and your husband, both of you should visit the doctor, not you alone.
So, ma'am, a lot of people are thanking you for such a detailed explanation of each and everything. Mr. Ashok Masand, the person whose wife is 6 months pregnant, he is also thanking you for such a beautiful explanation of everything. The next question is from Miss Sonal. She's saying she's 48 years old, and I want to know if after hysterectomy, is it natural to have a knee pain due to lack of calcium? And she also has gallstone issue. So, is there any need for hormone injection?
Oh no, okay. So she has done hysterectomy and she's got knee issues.
Yes,
So Sonal, you said, right?
right.
So you need to check your bone. You need to check your level of vitamin D because after a hysterectomy, into a surgical menopause, you're now into a surgical menopause. You will have to check the level of your vitamins and you will have to start taking in calcium and vitamin D3. Now, what your weight is, I don't know. You need to be extremely careful because after a hysterectomy, any woman automatically we put on weight. So you need to cut down your sugar drastically, cut down fats, try to have a lifestyle changes. Another thing you said is about your gallstone, right? She has gallstone.
Yes.
So a gallstone, gallbladder stone is something which I would not like you to delay the treatment because there are certain complications with stone in the gallbladder. So the moment you see that the corona and the pandemic is a little less, I would like you to get yourself examined with a surgeon. And I would definitely say that however it doesn't trouble you, you don't have pain, but gallstone is something that should not be kept for too long. So take care of that. And about your knees, yes, you have to do some exercise for your knees. There are certain quadricep exercises of lifting your leg, putting weight on it. Maybe you can do a little cycling movement. I don't know how much your pain is, but not in pain. Get some painkillers, have some painkillers, and then maybe you start doing these exercises. Weight bearing exercise, like such as walking, is very good, but with proper shoes because your knees are troubling you. Don't wear just any kind of shoes. My husband is an orthopedic surgeon. I always hear him say, buy the best shoes for walking. That's something she always does for me when I go out. He doesn't like shopping, but when I go for shoes, buy the best because that will help you to have a proper posture while walking. And sometimes when we don't wear the right shoes, the shoes itself is a bad factor to give us pain in the knees. So this is a little tip I want to give you. Wish you all the best, Sonal.
So I hope, Miss Sonal, you are going to buy the right shoes and start walking and taking a lot of precautions there. So now moving on to the next question we have is from Miss Hema. She's saying she's 20 weeks pregnant with the pain on the sides of her abdomen. Is it normal?
All right. So 20 weeks pregnant, 5 months. I hope you have done your level 2 scan earlier and everything is all right. So if everything is okay after a level 2 scan and you're 5 months pregnant, see, sometimes what happens, the baby is growing big and we have two ligaments which join the uterus to the thighs, the round ligaments they are called. Sometimes because of the overstretching of the uterus because of the baby, this gives us pain, and they are the pains typically on the side. So there's nothing to worry. You should just take a painkiller, like a paracetamol would be something that can help you out with. And whenever you have pain, like don't get up from the chair immediately, in a brisk manner. Get up a little, now you're pregnant. You have to be a little careful how you get up, how you sit. I always tell my pregnant patients, you all are Ranis, you all are princesses. Try to make yourself act like one. So do things in a delicate way. Don't jump from the chair, don't jump from your bed. Get up a little at ease. Take some medications. I'm sure with this you should be all right. In case you're not all right, in case the pain is increasing, or there is another issues related like gastric problem, then you must visit your doctor. But I don't think that should be an issue. Most often we have at 5 months this little pain by the side. So that should be all right.
So I hope you're going to treat yourself as a princess and as a queen now, Miss Hema. आपको बिल्कुल एकदम रानी के तरीके से अपने आप को रखना है. You have to behave like one, and I hope you give birth to a prince or a princess. So now moving on to the next question, we have the next question is from Sheetal. She's saying she was undergoing an infertility treatment. Her gynec had advised her to take a rubella vaccination. Is it safe to take during corona pandemic?
Yeah, as I mentioned during one of your previous questions, yes, it's a very good question. If you're planning to get married, you must get the rubella vaccination. That this is nothing to do with coronavirus. It will not affect your immunity at all. However, when you get the rubella vaccine, you should give a gap of 3 months before you get pregnant because the vaccine will affect the baby, nothing to do with the corona. So you can get the shot of this rubella, which is very important, as I mentioned during the first question. I think one of the questions was premarital counseling. So it's very important to get this vaccination done. Start with the folic acid also. I would also advise you, along with this vaccination, since you're planning to get pregnant, start on your folic acid as well. It's a good vaccine. Don't worry. It will not affect your corona status or immunity.
So
Question.
please, Sheetal, go ahead and get your vaccination done. So now moving on to the next questions. As I can see, it's very difficult. It's getting very difficult for me to actually choose which question should I take and which. I'm just going. So people, please don't be offended. I'm just taking question whichever is flashing first in my face. So the next question is from Kavita. She's saying she has hot flushes and backache. Her last menses was 6 months back. What is the treatment that should be taken for this?
All
She's
right.
not
So
mentioned her age.
doesn't matter. So 6 months, past 6 months. So I must inform the ladies that menopause nowadays, the latest update is that if your menses is not coming past 6 months, if you're amenorrhea, it is menopause. Previously, we used to consider 1 year, but now it is 6 months of no menses. So you are going in towards menopause. I don't know what your weight is. I don't know what your status of blood pressure is and details. However, a little bit of irritation, a little bit of, falling of hair, urinary tract infection, irregular periods you must have had before the 6 months. This will land you into a new phase of life. So the new phase of life, menopause, will take ladies 30 years. 1/3 of our life is going to be in menopause. So let us all enjoy it. Let us welcome it. No, don't worry, you're getting old. Age gracefully. Drink a lot of water. Hot flushes. The only thing is, because it's summers in India, women feel it a little more. Try to fan yourself. Try to stay in air-conditioned rooms. Try to, avoid chilly, hot, spicy food. Try to avoid drinking tea, coffee, caffeine. Try to decrease intake. I hope you're not taking alcohol and doing smoking, because that again will aggravate all these conditions. And well, hydrate yourself, a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, And mind you, as I said earlier to another lady's question, avoid sugar, avoid oil, because in menopause, automatically women put on weight. It is not in our hand. It's just because estrogen is coming down. A hormone which keeps you young is going to go down. But this is a new phase of life. You might as well enjoy it and take it in a positive way.
So we need to enjoy with estrogen, and we need to enjoy when the estrogen is going down.
So Shifa, enjoy your youth.
Yes, definitely, ma'am. मैम द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज फ्रॉम भावना छापरा। वो कह रही हैं कि वो 49 इयर्स ओल्ड हैं, उन्हें थायराइड भी है, उनको हाई बीपी भी है, और वो बहुत थक जाते हैं, मतलब जरा सा भी काम करने के बाद वो थक जाते हैं, तो उन्हें क्या करना चाहिए इस टाइम पे?
49 ईयर्स ओल्ड, थायराइड है और बीपी भी है। तो एक्चुअली जो थायराइड होता है, अगर आपके लेवल कंट्रोल पे नहीं है तो ये टायर्डनेस और थकावट लेके आ जाता है ऑटोमेटिकली। तो मेरा सजेशन ये है कि आपकी जो थायराइड की मेडिसिन आई होप आप ले रही हो, और उसका तरीका भी ये है कि बिफोर ब्रेकफास्ट, नाश्ता से पहले खाली पेट लेना चाहिए पानी के साथ, उसके आधा घंटे के बाद कुछ नहीं लेना है। कौन सा डोज आप ले रही हो, क्योंकि ये जो डोज होता है आप अपने मन से मन उसमें नहीं करना चाहिए ऊपर नीचे। डॉक्टर बता देता है अकॉर्डिंग आपकी जो वेट है, बीएमआई है। और दूसरी बात यह है कि जहाँ तक ब्लड प्रेशर की सवाल है, ब्लड प्रेशर आपकी एज के समय पे थोड़ा सा रिस्की रहता है, खास क्योंकि लेडीज में मेनोपॉज भी होता है। तो हार्ट की प्रॉब्लम्स को मैं आपको डराना नहीं चाहती हूँ, बट हार्ट की तरफ को ध्यान देना चाहिए। तो आपकी जो भी मेडिसिन है ब्लड प्रेशर के, प्लीज आप उसको रेगुलरली ले लीजिए और टाइमली चेकअप कर लीजिए। आपके लिवर फंक्शन टेस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, आपके लिपिड प्रोफाइल, जो ब्लड के अंदर चर्बी जो होता है खून में, उसको भी जांच करना बहुत जरूरी होता है। यू मस्ट मेक श्योर दैट यू हैव ऑल दीज चेक्ड अप। सो प्लीज टेक केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ। आपकी वेट कितना है आई डोंट नो, बट वेट को प्लीज बैलेंस में रख दीजिए। और ऐसा कोई चीज नहीं है कि हम नहीं कर सकते। अगर आपकी प्रॉपर नॉलेज है, प्रॉपर गाइडेंस है, डॉक्टर के पास हमेशा रेगुलरली जाना चाहिए। हाँ ठीक है, अभी कोरोना की वजह से आप नहीं जा सकते हो, but otherwise just take care of yourself, because the combination of high blood pressure, thyroid, इस एज में it's not a very good thing.
सो भावना, आपको मेरा सजेशन, जैसे मैम ने बताया, आपको सजेशन यही है कि आप अपना अच्छे से ख्याल रखिए। सारे डॉक्टर्स को रेगुलरली आप टेलीमेडिसिन भी कर सकते हैं, अपनी सारी मेडिकेशंस लीजिए, एंड आई एम श्योर आपकी थकावट और सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा। जैसे मैम ने पहले भी बोला, ईस्ट्रोजन के साथ भी इंजॉय करना है, ईस्ट्रोजन के बिना भी इंजॉय करना है, एंड वी हैव टू लिव लाइफ लाइक अ क्वीन।
Right.
So moving on to the next question by the next queen we have, she's asking, the question is from Sheetal. She's asking for the vaccination that are needed during pregnancy. What all vaccination do we need to take?
Right. So during pregnancy, usually we give 2 doses of tetanus. पहले डोज हम दे देंगे 20 weeks pregnancy में, for during the 20 weeks, and the second would give preferably, which I give to my patient, is a Tdap. That is 3 things in it: diphtheria, tetanus toxoid, and whooping cough, pertussis. तो आजकल ये ज़्यादा बेटर रहता है देना, क्योंकि ये बच्चे को प्रोटेक्शन देता है फर्स्ट 6 weeks आफ्टर डिलीवरी। तो Tdap को लेना चाहिए आइडियली 7 months में, 28 weeks। टेटनस का फर्स्ट डोज यूजुअली आप ले सकते हो जब आप अनोमली स्कैन के बाद आते हो डॉक्टर के पास, सो अराउंड योर 22nd वीक ऑफ प्रेगनेंसी। फ्लू वैक्सीन इंपॉर्टेंट है, लेकिन फ्लू समय के साथ चलता है, जैसे अगर डिपेंड्स ऑन द वायरस ऑफ द वैक्सीन। तो जब फ्लू के समय होता है तो दैट इज ऑल्सो गुड ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी, आप ले सकते हो। अदरवाइज ड्यूरिंग प्रेगनेंसी बिसाइड दीज टू वी डोंट एडवाइज एनीथिंग एल्स। तो आई एम श्योर आपकी डॉक्टर आपको बता देंगे।
तो शीतल, आई होप आपको आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर मिल गया है, तो आप बिल्कुल मैम ने जो कहा उसको फॉलो करिए। मैम, डॉक्टर मिस भावना का जिनका क्वेश्चन हमने इससे पहले आंसर किया, शी इज थैंकिंग यू, शी इज फॉर द, शी इज सेइंग कि बहुत ही अच्छे से उनको एकदम, शी इज नाउ अंडरस्टूड हाउ टू गो अबाउट इट। सो नाउ मूविंग फर्दर, there is this lady, her name is Poonam. Poonam ji कह रही है कि she is 6 months pregnant and she is worried about corona affecting her baby. She also has a lower back ache, and what medication should she use? But I think you've already answered this question. So if you just want to like brief it out.
6 months she is afraid. तो ये बहुत ही कॉमन है, and it's very common for any pregnant woman to be scared of Corona, definitely. As I said earlier, there was a very good question from a gentleman whose wife was pregnant. But yeah, ki definitely, there's nothing to worry. Don't panic. Panic, loss of confidence, fright will decrease your immunity. Remember, this will further decrease your immunity and you will automatically get the infection. So why will corona come to you of all the people? No, it's not like that. जैसे मैंने कहा आपको आपको बहुत अच्छे से घर में रहना है, बाहर नहीं जाना है. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Just pray. There are very good prayers, very good meditation. You need to do that. अगर आपको ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम है, आपकी डॉक्टर के साथ बात करो, काउंसलिंग वो करेंगे आपको ओवर द फोन. नथिंग टू वरी. And of course, family, उनके partner अगर सुन रहा है बात, तो partner, the family members should support her. She needs the support of her husband, her family members. और शायद बैकेक के लिए भी बोला, जैसे मैंने पहले
Right.
बताया, बैकेक sometimes, don't worry, sometimes because of stretch of muscles, sometimes because of weakness of bone, so you have to take calcium, you have to take vitamin D3, and you must rest. You must not exert yourself. आप किचन के अंदर नहीं जा सकते हो, कुकिंग नहीं कर सकते हो जब आपको बैकएक हो रहा है. आपको लेटना है कुछ समय के लिए. आई होप दैट शुड बी ऑल.
So I hope Poonam, आपको मैम ने जो जो बताया है, you're gonna follow that. So again, I would say there's a lot of questions. बहुत सारे questions हैं. अभी मेरे को it's like I'm just picking up them randomly. So there's, I think this one is pretty important because it's a bit technical also. There's this lady, her name is Pooja. वो कह रही हैं कि what is USG level 2 scan? Her gynec had asked her to do this test, and is it necessary that it is important to do this test, and what exactly happens with this test?
राइट, तो लेवल 2 स्कैन जैसे मैंने पहले बताया था बिगिनिंग ऑफ माय इंट्रोडक्शन, ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट स्कैन है. इट इज कॉल्ड अनोमली स्कैन. आपकी जो भी गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट है बिल्कुल सही सलाह आपको दे रहे हैं, क्योंकि प्रेगनेंसी के स्पैन में जो लेवल 1 स्कैन है 12 वीक्स में, नेक्स्ट लेवल 2 स्कैन जो 20 वीक्स 19 प्लस 6 वीक्स में होता है, उसमें बच्चे के दिल की धड़कन, बच्चे की पूरा किडनी, आईज, एवरीथिंग, stomach, सब कुछ दिखाई देता है. You get to see everything in a 20-week scan. That's an anomaly scan. So please do not miss the scan. Also, along with the say level 2 scan, usually we do in one shot when the patient comes to us a glucose challenge test. A glucose challenge test is very important, a CBC general blood test. So this is a time you have to get everything done. You don't have to go again and again to your gynecologist. She may call you the next after 28 weeks, 10, 32, 34 weeks. So this is a very important scan. Please do not miss it. Your gynec has given you very good advice. She's well versed with what she's doing. So please do it. Sometimes blood, I don't know what your blood group is, but if you're an Rh negative, like the blood group is Rh negative and you're pregnant, second pregnancy, whatever, you need to get a Coombs test done also. So indirect Coombs test. So gynecologists, those of us pregnant women, Rh negative, it's a high risk pregnancy. We need to get a Coombs test. So ये कुछ टेस्ट है जो समय है कि डॉक्टर के पास जाना बहुत जरूरी भी होता है. It is very important. Yes, Shita.
So I hope Pooja आपको भी पता चल गया होगा कि why USG level 2 scans are so important. So please take an appointment with your doctor and please be safe and go get it done. As we are moving towards the end of the session, we're already closing at like 7 o'clock. I will just quickly pick up 2-3 more questions before we hit 7. So I think this one is very important. Ma'am, there is this Miss Sudha. She has an IVF twin pregnancy with of 28 week with circlage done in first trimester. What are the precautions she should take if she has no pain or discharge?
All right. So again, IVF baby, high risk pregnancy, cerclage, you have to be very careful. Rest, bed rest, medications. Don't worry about your cerclage. The cerclage will remain there. Your gynecologist must have done the ultrasound for you. When you have pain, you have to only, when you have pain, you have to go to your doctor. Pain as in the lower abdomen. So your cerclage is, you cannot do anything about it. But if there is discharge, if there is bleeding, if there is excessive pain, you need to rush to your gynecologist. She will have to just remove that stitch from there, which is not painful. It's a 2 minutes job. And so it's an important pregnancy. You must take rest so that you do not have a premature delivery. You do not have discharge. Just take the medications, relax yourself, don't worry about anything. Enjoy the moments of the pregnancy. It's a precious pregnancy, IVF pregnancy. So don't let the circlage bother you so much. Your gynecologist will take care of you.
So, Miss Sudha, please do not worry. Everything will be all right. And please listen to ma'am and your gynecologist as well. So, moving on to the next question. There is, okay, this one is very important. There is Seema. She's saying she's 24 years old and she's having heavy menses and is passing a lot of clots. She feels very weak and giddy. What should she do about it?
So, yeah, very common issues with women, especially during the coronavirus. They do not like to go to the doctor and they keep on bleeding, keep on passing clot. You see, when a normal bleeding usually doesn't have clot passed. But if a woman is passing too much of clot, that means she's bleeding excess of the normal amount. So I would advise you to go to your gynecologist. Sometimes, because of hormonal imbalance, this happens. Nowadays, we have very good medications, very good combination of hormones of Dynogest and estradiol combined together, and we can always use it and give it to the patient based on the symptoms that she has. If she doesn't have any other issues, just a heavy menses, this is a very good combination use. But I would suggest that you must visit your doctor. We get one ultrasound done, an internal ultrasound, to know whether there is no anomaly, no fibroid, no tumor, no polyp, and then we can use this hormone oral contraceptive pill, which is very safe and very well used. So, weakness, giddiness, that means I understand your hemoglobin level should be low. Because of low hemoglobin, because of anemia, you feel giddy, you feel irritable, you feel like, lethargic, no energy. So, please check your hemoglobin. If you feel you're pale, or like you've done the examination, hemoglobin level is less than 10 grams, you must start with an anemic preparations. We have wonderful drugs, tablets, capsules, syrups that you could use, and I think that should help you in the long run. So make sure you eat enough of green vegetables, green leafy vegetables. If you're a non-veg, you can take an egg. You can take an egg now. It is very good source of protein. A lot of fresh fruits. If you get a lot of pomegranates, the juice is good enough for you, and I think you should be all right. But you should not bleed so much. Clot is nothing good actually. So I would advise you to, go to your gynac, get yourself examined. Yeah.
So, Seema, the first thing that you should do is go see your gynac. Ma'am, I think we have already reached 7. So, what I'll do is I'll just quickly summarize a few questions which have popped up continuously and I did not take them up. Uh, I'll just ask like the first question which has been coming to me like continuously. What is the best posture to sleep at night during pregnancy?
Right. So during night, there's nothing like how you should sleep or not, but it's a very good question. You should not lie down on your stomach. Okay. So if you want to lie down on the side with a pillow between your legs and a pillow with your side so that your stomach rests properly on the bed. If you're above 6 months, when you're going up, when you lie down supine, it will press on your aorta in your, you should not lie down too much supine. You get a little, hypertension, decrease in blood pressure. So in order for the baby also to get a lot of, good blood oxygen, try to lie down on the left lateral position with a pillow. So that, position is very good in pregnancy. So a lot of yes questions do come up. They come to our clinic and ask us, can I lie down on my stomach? No, I would not advise you after 12 weeks, after 11 weeks to lie down because the baby keeps on growing big. The stomach then shows. So by the side would be a better posture.
Ma'am, the next question which came in very common and something you have advised other people to do. So this one is specifically from the ladies, I think, who are pregnant. They're saying, can we do yoga during pregnancy?
Oh, yes, yes, very good question for pregnant women. We should have discussed this, but it didn't occur during the question. Yes, you should do yoga in pregnancy because in pregnancy, yoga will give you a technique to make your muscles, your joints a little relaxed. It will teach you how to take in breathing, deep breathing exercises. Deep breathing exercises will help you during your normal delivery. So yes, yoga is good. You should do yoga, but if you don't have pain, if you don't have joint pain, if you don't have any stomach pain, if you have pain, you cannot do. So if you're okay with, you're used to doing now, again, yoga at the end of pregnancy, no. You should do yoga right from the beginning so that your muscle is, used to it. If you all of a sudden do any exercise towards the end of pregnancy, you will land up into muscle pains, you land up into lying down in bed. So yoga is good if you do, because the breathing exercises will help you cope up with normal delivery, deep breathing exercises. And if you can hear to some music during this period, the music will make you feel happy. The music will give you, your mood, your spirit elevated. This is meditation. This is what you should do. That's good. We touched this part at the end.
I think this is ma'am telling us how to live life queen size, not king size, but queen size. So yes, you can do yoga, but be very careful how you go about it. Then there's another question which came in from a lot of, again, from pregnant ladies. They were like, if you can share some common tips for all the pregnant mothers, like what all they can do, like once you told about yoga, what else they can do.
Well, I think deep breathing exercises, tip for the women, first of all, would be please don't panic, be happy. Corona is not waiting for you to become pregnant to catch you. Corona doesn't understand all that. Just make sure that you go with the norms, cover your faces. When you go to the clinic of a gynecologist for your checkups, make sure you're covered, your eyes are covered, your body is, your clothes are changed when you go. Have a lot of fresh fruits, be positive, think positive, hydrate yourself. And the moment you feel you have any issues, make sure you talk to your gynecologist. You have 9 good months to enjoy yourself. This is the best period of your life. It will come. I hope it comes again and again, but the things that are going on, you enjoy the present. Let's think today is a gift called the present, as it says, as it goes. So let's enjoy the moment that we have, and I just hope that everybody could understand the basics of how to live a very simple life. Corona has taught us to live a simple life, to be with our roots, to be with family, to eat better food, not to go out too often, not to rush into things, to go slow in life, to have priorities, to live the present, not in the past, not in the future. We plan good for the future, but again, it is a moment that we have to live. And health is wealth. Wish you all of you listeners, all the very best. And I just hope that with good counseling that is going on, Alembic is doing excellent. Sheetal, you were wonderful as a moderator. And I'm sure this kind of a social service will pay you in the long run. And a lot of women, girls will be benefited.
So, ma'am, before we we've almost reached 7. Before we end up this session, there are a few questions which we were not able to take up. So, a lot of people are asking how can they contact you, because there were questions coming in from all over the places. So, if it's okay with you, if I can share your details with them, and you can also summarize the entire session, if it's okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll try to summarize. Yeah, sure. You can share my details with them. I'm always available on telemedicine with everyone. So if you all want to talk to me on phone, Sheetal will share the phone number with you, and the and the website and the details. And I hope that we could have a good conversation. And as I just said, that our aim is making parents bringing miracles to life. It's a nice thing written there, Sheetal. So we hope for the best. We just hope that we all go through this together, through this pandemic with bright colors. We can win it. We have done it. We have been going lockdowns, which were really timely, well taken by the government, timely done, and we have our forces into action. The police have done excellent work. Of course, the doctors, the warriors, in the forefront. And I think we must respect, we do pray for the souls of those corona patients who have left us. And I think really sorry to hear the losses. But again, this is what is not in our hand. We try our best. medications are coming. And I'm so happy that India is also in the forefront of bringing up the vaccines. We are hopeful that the vaccine India can make can be used all over, and all of us will be, healthy and not having any kind of complications in life with corona. It's a new virus. We have no idea how it's going to be affecting the babies in future. The pregnant women have to be careful, but right now there are no studies showing that it is, transmitted to the baby. So as long as that is there, okay. And if you're afraid that God forbid you become positive corona, babies can be taken care of in another room. You can take out your breast milk and give it to the baby, because this virus is not given through the breast milk to the baby. It's not transferred. So a lot of patients who deliver, we give them milk separately. And once a mother is corona negative with a test, she can always be with the baby. So wish you all the best. It was, a good time that, we revised a lot of issues during, and of course, a lot of other health issues are also there. But I think the best thing would be to get a proper knowledge and visit the doctor on phone. That is very simple. Instead of going to the hospitals, you can always go on telecommunication and make sure telemedicine is done. So, Sheetal, that should be all for today. I think we've answered a lot of questions.
Yes,
So,
ma'am. So I would request everybody who had asked for ma'am's detail, who were asking whether ma'am is practicing telemedicine. Yes, she's practicing telemedicine. You can take the screenshot of the details which is there on the screen. You can take appointment, and she's always available. We will always be coming up with more patient education programs. If there's anything specific that you want us to do, please put it in the chat. And I would like to thank Dr. Roja, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a wonderful session, for making us aware about so many things in general, and as a female, what all things I should be careful about right from my youth to when I, age further. So everything that we need to take care of. It was a wonderful session. It was very enlightening, and yes, I did learn a lot, and I hope all our audiences also learned a lot. And everybody is thanking you, ma'am. There's a lot of thanks, and there's a lot of messages are coming on the chat section. Everybody's thanking you for the wonderful session and taking out, your precious time during such conditions to enlighten the patients on the common situations, issues, primarily for females.
it
Thank you
was a
so much.
pleasure. Thank you so much. And I thank all the audience and the husbands who are also listening. I was very impressed to see the husband talking about his wife. So, anyway, wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being a good host and moderator.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. So, all the people out there, stay safe, use your mask, and please take care of all the females who are there in your life, because they make life better. With that, we from Alembic and Dr. Roja, we are signing off. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.